sitting down for another episode of Trauma to Triumph, where we will be turning wounds into wisdom, one story at a time. I am so honored and privileged to have with me today the lovely, amazing SHERRELL DUNCAN.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. I am so honored for a variety of reasons. I've known SHERRELL for a few years, and I have watched a lot of her journey throughout this last part of her life. And what we're going to do today is she's going to take us down memory lane. And she's going to talk to us about when trauma first entered her life, how she transitioned through those phases, because trauma can hit at different points of life, as we know. And so she's going to take us on a journey of her real life trauma and tell us how you transitioned from trauma to living triumphantly now. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag about some of the things that I know about her journey. I'm going to let you do that. But before we get started, I do want to have a special shout out to Black-owned candle company, Set the Mood, as we have here today.
And it smells good.
It smells good, doesn't it? Set the mood, you all. Black-owned. I love Black-owned businesses. It's very important to me. So Set the Mood candles. Check them out on Instagram. SHERRELL. Hey.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. So as we know, the beautiful woman that we see sitting here before us today, who's a mom, a wife, a serial entrepreneur, a fitness guru, everything that you are, we know that your journey has not been easy. And I want you to, as comfortable as you are, go back as far as you're willing to go back and talk to us just about your journey so that people can get to know a little bit about what shaped you and the things that you've gone through and the ways that you can help others who may be listening here overcome some of the things that you went through.
How much time we got, girl?
Girl, we got as much time as you need.
Well, so since I've been in this season of healing, I have uncovered some things in therapy. I've uncovered some things in prayer that I have suppressed for many years. That has shown up in the way I parent. That showed up in the way I do marriage. And so I've really wanted to get to the core of what is happening. Why do I feel the way I feel? And so I'll talk about parenting first. So you know Gabby. Gabby's 14. Royal is 5. She just turned 5. I've always been like a helicopter mom. Gabby wants to take a walk. I'm like, I'm walking with you. Or walk in front of the house. Just walk back and forth in front of the house. Or can I wear a crop top? No, you can't wear a crop top. And I love crop tops.
Right.
So it's like, you know, why am I parenting her this way? And so one of the reasons I know was because I was raped as a young girl, and I suppressed it for so long, and I didn't tell anybody because I was afraid of what may happen in general, what would happen.
And when you say a young girl, are you talking about a young teenage girl?
Yes.
Okay.
I was 13 years
13.
old. 13. I was raped in the back of a car. Anally. Yeah.
13.
At 13 years old. At 13. And that made me make decisions as a mom based on what happened to me. And Gabby is 14. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I can never live with myself knowing that this happened to her. And so just being a helicopter mom, being extremely overprotected.
Right.
To the point where it's like, she's resenting me. Like she can't spend the night over. She still can't really spend the night over anybody's house. I don't trust it. I don't know who lives there, what's going to happen, and, you know, all of that stuff. And so I really had to deal with myself in therapy with just, how do I explain to Gabby why I'm the way I am? And so I dealt with that for a couple of months.
Did you explain it? Did you tell her what
I
happened?
told her on my podcast.
You did?
Gabby was my first guest on my own. I don't know who this is for podcast. And that was the first time I ever told her.
Wow.
I told her what happened. I didn't go into like super detail.
Right.
But I did tell her how old I was. I told her how old he was. I told her that I was raped.
Was he a teenager?
No, he was a grown man. He's a grown man.
How did you deal with that? There's some 13, 14-year-old right now that is watching this, SHERRELL, I'm sure of it, who has been violated and is probably afraid to speak up. Like, well, how did you?
Ooh, okay. Ooh.
How?
I just went back to that time. I'll never forget. I had on a baby blue terry cloth BB short set. And I remember walking back into the house and my shorts were covered in blood. And my twin sisters, we have always been like this. And I remember telling them what happened. And they were only 11. So they couldn't process what that meant. Like, and it wasn't like, oh, it just was like, for real? Like that. It wasn't. So I never told my mom. I didn't tell anybody because I was so afraid. So at that moment, I just felt like, oh my God, why did he do that to me?
Right.
I didn't feel like how I feel now for me. How I feel the support that I needed then. I feel that now. I feel like it happened to me now.
Right.
I didn't feel that then. And so my only thing would be is you have to tell somebody what happened.
Okay.
Somebody that cares for you and that will believe you.
Okay.
Because a lot of the times, because of who's the person that's doing the rape, if you tell somebody that's involved with that person, they probably won't believe you.
Right. They'll think
you being fast, being wrong. Tell somebody that you trust, that you love, that can actually help you.
Okay.
That's what I would say. I told my sisters because we were so close, but my sisters were younger than me. It was nothing that they could do. And I've told my sisters everything that happened to me, and I just pray that they did not hold on to that, because I don't know if they hold on to my trauma on top of the stuff that they had, because everything that happened to me, I always told them. And so it started there. It started there with that. And
did that cause you, do you believe it, did you see any changes in you as far as like how you moved?
Very promiscuous. And you know how it could do one of two things. It can make you never want to deal with that.
Right.
Or it can make you very intrigued.
Yep.
Like, oh, wow.
It opens up something that shouldn't be opened at that age.
Let me tell you how bad it got. And this, I used to laugh at this, but now it just seems sad. All of my friends, my best friend to this day, and all of my friends that I met in school, I always met them, and the very first conversation we would have would be about them experiencing anal sex.
Really?
And why they haven't done it.
Really?
Hand to God. And they will be like, how do you know this?
Right.
Like, why do you know this at 13 and 14? Why do you at 15 know how anal? Yes. Yes. And it went with me in every sexual relationship. I always was like, you trying?
Right.
And they would either say yes or no or hell no.
Right.
What you talking about? And it was just something that it became something that it was just that I did.
Look at how a violation, though, shapes a person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I tell people that all the time, being fondled as a young girl, it makes you want to chase that feeling again.
Yeah.
And again.
And again, and again, and again.
And if that happens to you at 10 years old.
Yeah. And it's very unfortunate, because I don't know, maybe somebody that may be watching this, but I don't know how you turn that desire off.
Right.
I've always been very sexual now.
Yeah.
Even now, like, but oh God, I got to share this with you since we're here. About right around the time, a year ago, Black and I had a conversation. We talk about everything.
Y'all are best friends.
Yes, very best friends. And he said to me, why do you always feel like you got to control in the bedroom? Just let loose.
Wow.
Just release that control. You don't have to control every area of your life.
Okay.
And I'm like, he like, you on the bottom and you act like you on the top. You on the side, you act like you on the top. Like, let me do my thing.
Right.
And just enjoy
it. And just,
you don't have to take the wheel all the time. And
did you know you were taking the wheel all the time? Did you know that?
I always went into sex feeling like I have to please him.
Okay.
Not like I'm gonna get mine.
Right.
Because even my friends to this day, and I don't want to make this totally about sex, but even with my friends would be like, I would be like, girl, I don't need to come. Like, something like that.
Make
I
sure
just wanted.
And so you would take control to make sure that
They got
happens.
their thing. Yeah. And so I had the conversation with Black. It's really weird. We never had that conversation before, but I guess he just felt like now is the time that we had this conversation. And he's like, I'm not complaining. He said, but I take pleasure in you feeling good.
Yeah.
And so he said, we're going to walk through this.
I love it.
And so it was very different, but it was almost like a coaching. It was almost like him helping me heal from it. And so now I'm at the point where it's like, I don't feel like I have to be in control all the time.
Right.
And I can honestly say I now am having the best sex that I've ever had in my life by relinquishing control and not taking on the responsibility that I have to make him feel good. And that all goes back to when I was raped, it was all about him feeling good.
Correct.
That had nothing to do with me.
So would you say for years you have suffered from PTSD?
Absolutely.
Right.
Sexually, yes.
Yeah, that's when
I didn't even know.
And you didn't know.
I didn't even know. I had no clue. And Black has helped me to deal with that. Like, now, like I said, the desire, that doesn't go away.
Correct.
Right? But me actually just relinquishing control. Like, I mean, every time I'm in control, like I said, every time.
You was,
in control.
dominating.
Yes. And so.
Wow.
Yeah.
I am loving to hear that in this phase of your life, how you have allowed yourself to be more vulnerable and trust your husband.
Yes.
I'm loving that for you.
I had to, and this is a fully, I had to fully submerge myself in submitting to him and trusting him. And I know that when he did that, that was directly from God. That wasn't because of his flesh, because his flesh is like, I'm good. But spiritually, he's like, we a little off.
He wanted a different connection with his wife spiritually.
Absolutely.
And I love that.
Me too.
And you may not have known that you needed that.
I did not know.
Because
I didn't even know he was feeling like that.
I'm seeing a version of you that I've never seen before. And I know I don't proclaim to know you for 20 years or nothing like that. It's probably been about what, 8? How old is Royal?
Royal was 5, but
I knew you before that.
Yeah, so it's probably about
maybe about 7 years. But I personally have seen a transformation.
Yeah.
Which again made me want to sit down with you even more.
Yeah.
So that I can learn more about how you did this.
Yeah.
And what are the things that drove you to where you are now. And so now we've gotten through you being a young teenager and that trauma. Did you ever have any resolution to that? Meaning, like, did you ever tell your mom or someone, an adult, or did someone ever? Oh, really?
Everybody found out on the podcast. And so
that was brave.
I know. Everybody found out when I told Gabby, but I called my mom and I told her, I said, the first episode is about to come out. And I have to tell you something. Like, and that is tough because now people feel like I could have helped you. And my mom is like, we had a relationship where we could talk about anything. Why didn't you tell me?
What was your answer? Because I want to know too.
I was scared. I was scared because people knew him. And I didn't know what would happen. I saw what happened when I got bullied by an older girl. I seen what my aunts came in the neighborhood and done, and they end up going to jail. So I was like, if I tell them this, I'll never see my family members again, because I don't know what may happen.
What they might do.
Yes. And so it just scared me. It didn't like, you know how somebody be like, oh, I know you gonna get it. I know how my family rolled. For me, I was like, I don't know. I don't know why I thought the way I did when I was 13, but I'm so glad that today I get to heal those parts of me. Because when I think about me young, I get so sad. I get so emotional because I've dealt with everything by myself.
On your own.
And I didn't have to. I did not have to. I had support. And so that's what freaks me out with Gabby. I'm like, please, I am your safe space.
Yes.
You could talk to me about anything. And yes, I'm your mom, so I do want to protect you and I want to make sure that you're straight. I say, but please, I tell her this all the time. Please talk to me about anything. If you feel like you want to have sex, if you feel like you want to smoke, if you feel like you want to drink, if you feel like you want to talk to boys, if you feel like whatever it is, I don't care.
Yeah.
If you feel like you want to be Muslim, I don't care.
Right.
Talk to me about it.
Right.
I am here to support you and guide you in the right direction. Your decisions are your decisions, but I want to make sure that I am helping you to shorten your learning curve. And so that's why when I think about me, I'm just like, oh God, I immediately think about Gabby.
Yeah.
You know, because Gabby reminds me a lot of myself. Yeah, because she's so like reserved to herself. And that's how I was when I was young too, until I wasn't.
And you wasn't. Until you was outside.
Yeah, until I stopped being outside.
Let's talk a little bit about being outside. Let's talk about SHERRELL as a young woman. You've gone through what you went through. You didn't tell anyone. I assume that, life had to go on. And so let's look at 18-year-old SHERRELL. What's going on in your life?
Okay, so 18-year-old SHERRELL is when I created SHERRELL LaBella. Well, one of my best friend, her cousin, gave me the name SHERRELL LaBella, and that's when I got into the industry in the DMV. I started a company called Honeycomb Set, and I managed models, and I did a lot of promotion in clubs and stuff. So I was in the clubs 7 nights a week. And I did, whenever like celebrities would come into town, I had a 2-bedroom in Forest Creek. And one of the bedrooms I made it a studio. So when celebrities would come into town, they would do drops for the radio in my apartment. Yeah. And I would provide them with models for the clubs, for the VIP and stuff. That's how people started to really know me.
Okay.
Because of that. Like they knew me. Like you'll hear people from back then call me Sherella or Rella. Is because of that.
Okay.
And so I was out in the clubs. Yes, I was out in the club literally 7 nights a week. I didn't miss a night. And I had about 40 girls in the area, 40 models. We would travel. We would go to like Miami. I think that's my phone.
Oh, it's fine.
Oh God, Roy, you had my damn phone. I'm sorry. But we would go to like New York. We would do Fashion Week because I had models of all different sizes. I just didn't do urban models. I had all different type of models. I would help them learn how to walk the runway. I would help them to pose for magazines. So I had a couple of girls that made covers of urban magazines. So I was really like outside. And so I chose the name SHERRELL LaBella because I knew that SHERRELL couldn't handle this male-dominated industry.
Okay.
So SHERRELL LaBella was like a shield for me. I wasn't having sex with nobody for money. I wasn't having sex with nobody for jobs. But I knew if I went out as SHERRELL, that'd probably be different.
Okay.
But SHERRELL LaBella was like, what we doing? Like, ain't nobody taking aggressive, like almost like a masculine mentality. And so from 18 till about 24, that's all I did.
That's what you did.
That's all I did. And
now, had you had Gabby?
No, so 24, I got pregnant. And that was really weird. I got pregnant and I was pregnant with twins. I lost the baby. And then it took me into a deep depression. And I was the end of December, the end of the year of my 24th birthday.
Okay.
And so when I was going into 25, I got pregnant with Gabby.
Okay.
And when I got pregnant with Gabby, all of that stopped. The clubs, the models, all of that stuff stopped until I started doing Super Gorgeous Radio. And then I was back outside with the celebrities and all that other stuff, but I was not well. I was very depressed. I lived in a basement with no water. It was just a bad situation.
Bad time. Were you and Gabby's dad together at that
Yes.
time? Okay.
It was just very bad.
Okay.
And so I tried to commit suicide. I failed. First of all, I'm horrible at trying to commit suicide. I'm not good at it at all. Thank you, Jesus.
She didn't know no better.
I am not good at it at all. Thank you, God. And so after that, I decided that I needed to lose weight because I had gained over 100 pounds. And because I was in the entertainment industry, I was so used to having this certain body where I could wear bodycon dresses and my body be pow, 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 pow. No stomach. You know what I'm saying? I've always had thick legs and a big butt, but I have stomach and arms and all that other stuff. So when I looked at this new body, I'm like, this is not me. So depression set in. And so I had started work. I got a job in Baltimore as a career services director, still helping people, helping kids that were graduating from the program, helping them get jobs. I hated it so much because it was all the way in Baltimore. It just was terrible.
But you were doing at that time what you felt you had to do.
I've always been in the business of serving and helping people.
That's what I'm
make
hearing,
their
a
dreams
pattern.
come true. Yeah. So just like with the models, they wanted to be models. They wanted to go to New York Fashion Week,
help them with
and
that.
I wanted to help them with that. So it was always, I'm always in the business of serving. And so one day at that job, I passed out, and they had to rush me to Johns Hopkins. And I got to Johns Hopkins and I was severely dehydrated because I was drinking at work. I would be drinking on the way to work, like the little shotties, drinking on the way to work, drinking at home.
So by now you're drinking.
I'm drinking, but I've been drinking for a while.
For a while. Okay.
Since I was a little kid. When everything happened, I started drinking and smoking heavy. So all of that happened then.
That was your coping mechanism.
That's my coping mechanism, yes. And so I passed out. They called the ambulance. They rushed me to the hospital. The doctor told me that I was severely dehydrated. He told me that one of my kidneys didn't look well. And my brother at the time, well, he's not my real brother, but he's known me since I was 9. So I called him my brother. He lived in Baltimore. I called him and he came up to the hospital and he looked at me. He said, because I had been ignoring his calls and we are very close. We would talk every day. Yeah. I had been ignoring his calls for like 7 months. I hadn't talked to him. And so he's like, you've been ignoring my calls. What's going on with you? And what happened? Like he was looking at my body like, what's going on? He had never seen me that big. And I was just like puffy, just so swollen from all of the drinking and eating crazy. It was just a mess. I was unwell.
Not taking care of your body.
He said, when you get out of here, we about to start working out. I'm gonna make food for you, all of this. And so January 12th of 2012 is when I quit that job, and I know what I was gonna do because I had Gabby. Gabby will be 2 that year.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. We had an apartment, and he was like, look, you just need to focus on yourself. And so this was my first fitness journey.
Okay.
He started taking me to the gym, eating right, and so I lost 100 pounds that year.
Oh.
I lost 100 pounds that year. And that's when Black reached out to me the next year, to 2013. But in that year, I decided, you know what? Well, I didn't decide. God decided, you need to do this full time. And so
The fitness. Okay.
Yep. And so I put up a post on Instagram and I told people, I'm like, I'm about to do a boot camp at Watkins Park. And it's $5. Because I had been posting my workouts and showing people me working out. And they had never seen me in that, because they used to me partying, drinking with the models. So now they see me in fitness, they like what? What's going on? And they see my body different too. They're like, what is going on?
Right.
And so I put up that post and that was on a Thursday. I was doing the fitness the fit camp that Saturday. I had 50 women come out that day.
Wow.
And I was like,
Wow.
I can make some money in
Doing
this. $5, 50
Yes,
people. I
yes.
could bump this thing up to 10 and then do it
Yes.
every week. And so I
Yes.
started doing it every week, but I wasn't certified yet.
Okay.
But they didn't care. They was like,
I was
girl,
gonna
you done
say.
lost all this weight. Show me how to do it.
People, I don't know that people care about certification.
Some people don't.
Okay.
Some people do.
Okay.
For whatever reason, I don't know why. But fast forward, I got my certification. I became a certified Pilates instructor first. And then I went back and got my certification as a master personal trainer. And I became certified, and that's when I started The Good Thick.
The Good Thick. Yes. Okay.
when
So
I
that's
started
how
The
you
Good Thick.
birthed The Good Thick.
Yep.
I don't know that I knew that journey. I remember The Good Thick and how
Yep.
popular it was.
Yes.
I just don't remember the story about how it was birthed.
Yep. And so once everybody started catching on, that's when I started going on Fox 5 with The Good Thick. This was around 2014. I think, my first time on Fox 5 was 2014. And they would bring me back to do fitness segments.
Okay. Now, in your personal life, are you and Gabby's dad broken up
We're
now?
broken up now.
Okay, that's over. Okay.
I'm not even dating. I'm just focusing on me.
Okay.
I may have me a little something,
A little something.
Yeah, a little something every now and then, but nothing serious.
Right.
And so me and Gabby's dad are broken up. And as I'm starting to lose the weight, Black hits me up on Facebook.
And Black is her current
My
husband.
current husband, yes. He hit me up on Facebook and was like, I see you doing your thing. Congratulations.
Y'all already knew each other from being out in the industry, kind
I
of?
did not know him. He knew me. I
Okay.
knew about Mumbo Souls, but I did not know him personally.
Okay.
I knew he was a part of the band, but I didn't know who he was because I wasn't in that entertainment scene. I was more so like rap, hip hop, and like backyard go-go.
Okay.
And
got
so
it.
I didn't know anything about Mumbo Souls that much. I knew Welcome to DC, but I'd never seen them play or anything. And so I'm like, okay, cool, thank you, whatever. And so maybe about, I don't know, maybe a few months after that, we hosted an event. Eddie Bryant had an event, and he asked me and him to host. And when I seen him, I still didn't know who he was.
Okay.
But he knew who I was.
You.
And he was like, and that night, Eddie came to pick me up. I'll never forget this. Eddie came to pick me up because something was going on with my car. And when it was time to go, Eddie was like, oh, I got a little jump, man. I got somebody I'm trying. I'm like, so what the hell am I gonna get home? I live all the way in Bowie at this time, and we on uptown. Ain't nobody gonna go out to Bowie. So he asked back, he was like, you think you can take her home? And I'm like, I ain't trying to ride with him. I don't know him. I just we had a good time hosting because, that's what we do. We show up, but I don't know him. Like, this your man. He like, but I know Eddie since I was a little girl. So Eddie was like, he cool. He cool.
He was saying you could trust him.
Yeah, you could trust him. So he took me home. And it was cool. We talked about the event, and he talked about, do you think we could do this more? Like, because we have real good energy. We could probably make some good money. I'm like, I don't know. We just, whatever. Take me home. I don't really know you like that. And then that was it. And so fast forward to when I started training more, like a lot, he hit me up like, yo, I don't know if you remember me, but, I see you really out here doing your thing. I'm proud of you again. And so I'm like, I look, and then I was like, and we started talking, and then we started talking like just regular talk. And then he told me, he's like, yeah, I got a girlfriend. I'm like, oh.
So that's when you was like, okay.
Yeah, because we probably had we was talking like on what do you call it? We don't do that no more. It's like instant message thing. Instant message, instant messaging, yeah. And I'm like, oh no, we good. We probably
told you he had a girlfriend.
Yeah, we probably talked for probably like a week and a half. And when he told me he had a girlfriend, I'm like, I'm not dealing with you. You got a girlfriend? That's wild.
Right.
I'm not into that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not into that. So we stopped talking. And maybe like 5 months later, he hit me up like, hey, I'm available. I'm like, hey, me too. What's up? What we doing?
The timing was right.
The timing was perfect. It was so perfect. And I'm like, you sure? He like, nah, I'm living here. Da, da, da. I'm like, all right, cool. And so we started talking, and that that was a roller coaster in itself, but it ended up being the best roller coaster ride
As we can see,
ever. Ever. The best roller coaster ride ever. He restored my faith in love, and he restored my faith in men, because after what happened to me time and time again, I had a hard time trusting men and believing that I would ever be loved, cared for, or seen, or even respected ever again in life. And because Black took his time with me, and let me say this, I know a lot of women, especially Black women, are not going to agree with this, but we walk around thinking that we're the only prize, that we're the prize. But men are a prize
they
too.
are. They really are.
You can't be the only one in a relationship the prize. Because what does that make the other person? A simp? Weak?
What does
is
that
he?
make him?
And so he showed me how important it was to value the man just as much as the man values the woman.
I agree with that. I have had to learn some tough lessons in my current personal life about that as well.
Yeah,
I've had to own, like you taught people own your shit.
Yeah,
I had to own some of my own shit.
You have to own your mess. You have to own it and fix it, because I'm telling you, if just thinking about it makes me sad. If I would not have slowed down, really listened to Black, I would have lost him. And he is the best thing that has happened to me.
Thank you, God.
I cannot even imagine my life without him. And to restore my faith in men and my trust in men,
That's big. That is big. That's big. That's major.
Before him, let me tell you, when I was doing the honeycomb set stuff, because that's what it was called, honeycomb set, when I was doing that, I was dealing with a guy. I never forget this. I was dealing with a guy, girl, who lived with his mother, but lived in a basement. They had cats, and you know how I feel about animals. Girl, he would lock me in that basement. He would lock me in the basement and make me stay there all day. This is what I'm saying. Like, this is how my mind unwell. He would lock me in the basement with the cats in there and with a bucket to use the bathroom. At this time, I'm 19. So I'm in the thick of the modeling thing, but he was so jealous and insecure of me. But he was also one of them movers and shakers in the DMV area. And so when he saw me, he snatched me up, right? He snatched me up and he told me, oh, we work together, we'll do all of this. And then we had sex, right? We had sex. So now we got soul ties. So now I'm no longer in SHERRELL LaBella mode. Now I'm SHERRELL. Remember that thing I was telling you about?
Control.
So now I'm SHERRELL and I'm being manipulated and I'm seeing him, he's being a narcissist, and I'm allowing him to do this, and he would lock me. And that happened for 1 year. That happened for 1 year, and that thing tore me up. And he wasn't even all of that.
What?
He wasn't even all of that. He wasn't a looker, Terry.
He wasn't?
No.
And thing was me?
No.
Oh.
No, nothing about it was good. I don't know what was going on.
You had PTSD, and you
distracted. I could not see. I could not see him for what he was.
You were super young.
Yes,
too.
all I could see is what he could do, what he could possibly do for me, because I wanted it so bad. And that's another thing. Like, when we want something so bad, we forget to go to God and say, is this for me? Is this
what
from
you want?
you?
Yeah, right.
Is this from you, or is this a desire that I have from my flesh?
Yep.
And because what I realized is that when your flesh endures trauma, your brain decides, it starts to make decisions for you and create narratives about things that are not true. Yep. It starts to make you desire things that are not yours. Yep. It starts to make you create relationships and want to be in relationship with people that are you're not supposed to be in. So this trauma is literally taking over your body. It's a toxic thing taking over your body. And so that's why it's very important to get help.
Yes.
It is important.
Very important.
Help.
I totally agree. I could not agree with you more. I am so just, I have mixed emotions right now, SHERRELL, because I'm just thinking about all of the things that you have gone through. You have gone through so much. God has used you, though. God has used you to show how a person can go through those types of things and still come out a shining star. You are so amazing to me.
Thank you.
You really, really are. You are a great example of triumph. You really are.
Thank you.
And I just want you to know that.
Thank you.
I think that there will be people wanting to know how you transitioned from the SHERRELL that married Black, and we all know that you had a very public wedding on TV. For those who don't know, she got married on Fox 5, a surprise wedding, and it was amazing. And then you had some years of we know you've been on reality TV, and now you are on a new journey. So take us through this part of your life.
So now I am sober. I no longer drink alcohol anymore. I've been sober for 440 something days today.
Oh, where did this come from, though?
I had to get sober, Terry. I did not realize that I was an alcoholic because alcohol is so socially accepted. And I didn't realize that alcohol was something that I relied on and I thought made things better. It only made things worse. It only made things worse. And being on the show.
The show, you mean the reality show?
Being on the reality show, it made it worse.
Really?
Because they saw that I was an alcoholic. They knew it because I was always drinking. And when
they use that?
Absolutely, because whenever I would show up, they'd be like, all right, here go shots, here go drink. It was always drinking. It was a lot of drinking. And it also, we had to sit in a decision that we made by being on that show and take a lot of shit.
A lot of ridicule.
Ridicule. It was crazy. It was crazy. And now, yet again, I'm back 300 pounds again because life is tearing us up.
So you had gained weight.
Stuff. If someone was to come to me today and I was that size and I was in my right state of mind, I would never have gotten on TV. Only because, and I'm not saying that, thick people cannot be on TV. What I'm saying is when I am thicker, I am unwell.
You feel like you're not at your best.
I'm not at my best. I'm not well. So if you ever see me get bigger again, ask me what's going on. Because I'm not okay.
Okay.
When I let myself go like that, I am not mentally well and I can't see that I'm spiraling out of control. And so being on that show, I was spiraling out of control. Because Black and I had a lot of stuff that we were going through personally. And financially, we were not okay. Right? We were not okay. I know a lot of people front and fake when they on TV. We weren't faking and fronting.
Right.
We told them like, look,
Black
pulling up in his little caravan that had one side, one color, the other side, the other color. Like, this is real life.
Real life.
You know what I'm saying? And we don't have these lavish cars and things like this, but we do have stuff going on that possibly can help people. So why not showcase this instead of showcasing all this other wild stuff that is not even real?
Right.
And so that show, I'll never forget being on there. It brought up what I felt in relationships, not being valued, not being seen, not being worth it, knowing that I'm that girl, regardless of where I am physically, I get shit done no matter what. I've always been the person that gets shit done, no matter what it is. I've been an event planner since I was 18. I've produced things since I was 18. I've managed people since I was 18. I know this shit, right? I know this. I can do it with my eyes closed. I could plan an event right now because everybody I need for that event is one phone call away. And so that's the type of person I am. I get shit done. But they didn't see me as that. They saw me as, honestly, what I was, the season that I was in, not well.
Right.
So they didn't take me for who I am and my character and all these things. They just saw me
inside of you.
Yep. They just saw me for
to add more drama to. That's what.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so it was terrible. So when that show was over, and we didn't get what they had promised us, I was like, we are worse off than we were when we started this show.
Oh my gosh.
Now, well, we've lost our house. We don't have our house. We had 24 hours to move out of a four-story townhome that we had lived in for 7 years. They told us we have 24 hours. The sheriff knew who we were. He was like, I know who y'all are to the community. I can't put y'all stuff out. So I'm going to give y'all 24 hours. And this is why we're filming the show.
So even throughout that, God's still showing some grace though.
Showing grace.
You see that though, right?
Showing grace. Terry, we ain't have no money. We ain't know where we were gonna go. We didn't have nothing. So it was like, where we gonna go? We got our kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, where do we go? How we don't have money to get a truck. We don't. How are we gonna get out of this? What is going to happen?
You feel like you had hit rock bottom?
Oh my God. We both felt like we had hit rock bottom. And it wasn't because he didn't work. It was a lot of stuff going on. It was a lot of stuff going on, a lot. And so, and I won't speak about that. That's Black's story to tell. So it was just so much going on. And then in the midst of us moving, they coming to take my truck from me. So it's like, oh my God.
What?
Oh my God.
So all of this is happening all at the same time?
All at the same time. All at the same time.
What do you do?
So Black being a man, he ain't wanna, he ain't wanna ask for help and all. He ain't wanna seem like he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do, because Black is a protector, he's a provider, he's all of those things. But at this specific point in his life, God wanted to show him that you have to trust me, and there's people that I have in place to help you. And so my brother, he owns a FedEx franchise, and he gave us a truck. We ended up staying with a family member for a month, and then we moved out of there. We moved into somewhere else. And girl, after that, I told Black, I said, I don't want to do nothing else. I want to be isolated away from people. I don't want to be in this anymore. I need to figure out who I am. I've lost myself. I need to get this weight off of me. I know I have to stop drinking. God has been telling me I need to stop drinking. And that was in November of 2023, my birthday, right around my birthday. And so the day after my birthday, my throat completely closed up. I could not talk. I couldn't swallow or anything. Black had to rush me to the hospital. I passed out. Black had to rush me to the hospital. When he rushed me to the hospital, they had to give me a shot and had to put this needle in your throat to open my throat, because it was so disgusting. But it was just like the saliva was just coming out of my mouth, and I couldn't, it was completely closed. Like nothing could go down my throat. And so Black, took me to the hospital. They gave me the shot or whatever. It opened my throat up. I went back home that night. It closed back up again. It closed back up again. And can I tell you this? They still don't know what happened to me. They just know that they gave me a steroid to open my throat back up. Excuse me. But when I went home, this is the part that I forgot to tell you. When I left the hospital to go back home, I asked Black to stop at the liquor store. He didn't want to do it. I asked him to stop at the liquor store because, so he says he didn't do it. I went back out and got me some wine.
But when you got back home,
and when I got back home, nope, I drank the whole bottle of wine. You did? Okay. I drank a whole bottle of wine, and that was probably like around 5 o'clock or whatever.
And so you could drink a whole bottle of wine by yourself?
Girl, 3-4 bottles of wine. 3-4 bottles of wine by myself. It was nothing. Like it was nothing. Like it was nothing. Yeah, I mean, and then when I go out, I can drink shots, I can drink beer, I can drink wine, I can drink whatever it is that they got, I can drink.
You can do it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, I could do it. And so that night,
I
drank that whole bottle. I laid down, and when I woke up, I was like I couldn't breathe. Like I was freaking out, panicking. And when I woke up, I was like I was telling Black, like it's choked again. Yep, he had to take me back to the hospital. He had to take me back. And so when he took me back, they gave me another shot again, and I said, I can't drink no more. I think I got a bad bottle. That's in my mind. I'm saying I got a bad bottle. And then I'm telling him like, I don't know. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. And so I told him when we moved, I said, I am getting off social media and I'm not drinking. I'm going to do 75 hard. And so I did 75 hard. But in the midst of me doing 75 hard at the beginning of January 2024, I realized, I was like, I have a problem. Alcohol is a problem.
So you were a functioning alcoholic?
Functioning alcoholic. I gotta stop drinking. Because if I feel like I need it for everything, oh, something good just happened. Oh, it's time to drink. Something bad's happened. I need to drink. I'm in the house cleaning up. I need to drink. I'm about to cook. I need to drink. Whatever it is, I need to drink. I need to drink. I need to drink. I need to drink. If I feel like I need it, then it's a problem. If I'm relying on something that can possibly kill me,
It's a problem.
it's a problem. This could kill me.
Yeah.
This could take me. There are so many people that I know that have family members that are older now and they have alcohol-induced dementia. And that is a thing that happened in my family that is currently happening right now. And I'm like, I can't be that. I already forget people's names all the damn time. So I'm not, somebody come up to me, hey, SHERRELL. Oh my God, how do I know her? Where do I know her from? Help. I'm sorry, how do I know you? Like I already have that issue. So I don't want, you know what I'm saying? So I just was like, so during 75 Hard, it really helped me.
And 75 hard means 75 days.
75 days, no alcohol at all, nothing, no alcohol. They don't care what celebration it is, no alcohol, work out twice a day, read books, read 10 pages of a book every day. And I also chose to not be on social media.
I know, I was looking for you.
I know, you text me. I did. I was like, where are you?
I'm going to let no,
this is what you said. If you was that scared because you didn't want to make the lasagna.
You were scared because I challenged you to the lasagna thing. And I said, she done got shut her whole damn social media down. Scared to do the daggone cooking competition.
Yes, you kept on texting me.
I said it ain't
you have to run it high. You did say that.
That's right.
But yeah, I took that break, and in that it birthed my podcast. I don't know who this is for. That came about, and me actually going through with not drinking again and becoming a sobriety advocate for anybody that wants to do it. So I'm not one of them sober people, because there are those sober people out there like, please don't drink. You shouldn't drink. Judgy. You're horrible. No, that's not who I am. No, I'm just like
ready.
Yes. So like at my brunch, like there was a few ladies that stood up and talked about how they're 62 days sober, 180 days sober, 200 days sober, because I've inspired and motivated them. And that is the work that I want. I don't want anybody to feel pressured to do it, because once you feel pressure, you're going to fail.
Yep. That's true.
You're going to fail. Yeah. You're going to feel like you have to do this because of something. You will fail. But if you feel like you have to do this so that you want to do it, you need to do this. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a punishment.
Right.
It is a gift. It is a gift for me to be sober. It is a gift for me to be sober. And my life has changed. The opportunities, I want to tell you about an opportunity, but I cannot right now. I want to so bad, but I can't. But I have an opportunity that came to me that is so amazing and is so unbelievable. And I'm just like, I know, and I wanted this position before, but I knew I wouldn't have been able to take it before this time. Right. So as a time, because this time I am in my right state of mind, I have clarity and I have boundaries, not because I'm afraid of people or I'm running from issues. I have boundaries so that I can stay focused.
Right. Okay.
Because without boundaries, I will lose it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'll get back into that people pleasing stuff that I was in, thinking I gotta be here, I gotta be seen here. And that's not what it has to be. You know, God will place me in the positions and in the rooms and in the places around the people that I need to be around in order for me to receive the blessings that he already has one ahead of me to give for me. So, yeah, girl. Yeah, girl.
So would you say your sobriety journey has also helped with the weight loss? Because when I saw you walk in today, I was like, whoa.
Absolutely. Thank you. If I was still drinking and just working out, I would probably be 50 pounds heavier. I would have lost, so in total since January of 2024, I've lost 96 pounds. But if I would have still been drinking, it would have just been like 56 pounds, 40 pounds. Mm-hmm. The other half, I'd probably only lost half of that. But not drinking helps me to keep it off and to maintain at a certain weight.
Wow, I'm loving this for you. I
Thank
love it, love it, love it. I wanted to know, like how it would be to interact with you on your new journey. It is more fun.
Yeah.
Still, you're just more lit.
Yeah.
And way, you more lit, just in a different way. No, really.
I think people feel like that. I think people feel like because
She
I'm
not gonna be
sober-
fun no more.
Uh-huh.
But that's not true.
It's not true at all. I just don't drink.
Right.
I just don't drink. I just don't drink. And I learned how to say no to a lot of things too that I know that doesn't serve me. Because not only am I a recovering alcoholic, I'm a recovering people pleaser. And that is the truth.
Yeah.
Because I've been trying to please people for so long because of the trauma that happened to me. Yeah. I feel like I have to show up. I have to be this. I have to be that for people to like me, for people to see me, for people to care about me, for people to respect me, for people to invite me to stuff. I have to be that. I don't have to be that. I just be exactly who I'm supposed to be, and God will keep on blessing me. He'll keep on blessing me. But I have to do my part and trust in him and serve him and surrender at his feet when I'm hopeless and when the days are dark. I surrender at his feet and tell him that I know that you are the great I am.
Yes.
And there is no one else that can do this for me like you can do this for me. Not my husband, not my kids, not my best friend. Nobody can do it for me like you can do it for me. And so that's the difference now. It's like I've always led with God in the past, but I led with God because I led in a way with, look, this is what God can do for you, as opposed to this is who God is to you. And this is who he is. This is how he operates. It's not what he can do for you. It is who he is. It's different for me. I speak a different language now. Yes. And so that is different. And so a lot of people not ready for that. It's too much. It's too deep. I'm too in depth. There's no surface. They just want to laugh and kiki. That's cool. I can laugh and kiki too. But what we doing?
Right.
Like,
right.
We just y'all just gonna drink and I'm gonna just live here. I'm just not, that's not what I'm going to do. So if I'm leaving my house, it has to be for a reason.
It has to be for a reason.
I mean, but just like yesterday, I left my house, my best friend, she stayed home from work. I was available. She was like, what you doing? I said, I was going to go get something to eat. She said, come over here. We can eat breakfast. We ate breakfast and we took naps. And that felt so damn good. That was purposeful. I needed that rest.
I love that. You needed that rest.
We ain't
and who need moments like that?
We ain't say nothing. She had a blanket for me. I went over there. I cooked. I made fried potatoes. I made bacon, sausage, biscuits, eggs. And after I cooked, we ate. I made us some little non-alcoholic mimosas. We sat on the couch, watched Sex in the City. We watched half of one episode and was knocked out. Black called me like, are you going to get the girls? I was like, oh shit, what time is it? Where the hell am I at?
Oh my goodness, you needed that.
We
need that, and we just need to be more intentional about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we need to be more intentional about that and just about our self-care. And I think one thing I have learned through listening to your journey is how important it is to have self-care, how important it is to just be like, it's about me. I got to get myself together. I really want to be well and be intentional about it. And that's what I've seen you do. And I'm just so super proud.
Thank you so much, girl.
Thank you so much, girl. If there's any parting words that you would like to share with anybody who may be watching this episode about your journey or about your podcast, anything, take the time to do that now.
I just want to say, just own your mess and fix it. Be very self-aware. Surround yourself with people that will hold you accountable, that'll support you, that sees you, that respects you, that cares about you, and is not just for an opportunity. It's very important to have really good people around you. Season 2 of I Don't Know Who This Is For podcast is coming out.
Yeah.
I don't know when because I have another opportunity, so I'm just trying to balance it out. But it's coming out. I've already recorded a few episodes, so that will be coming out soon. I don't know when.
Is there an official reason why I haven't been on there?
No, you should be on there. You should. No, because you know what? You know what's so crazy?
What?
This is so crazy. I have been stopping myself this entire interview.
Okay.
I have been stopping myself from saying, but what's going on with you? I promise you.
Because we're not talking about me.
Because you know I'm always like, what's up? What's going on with you? And I have literally been
the entire interview because it's not about me today.
I have been fighting myself like, answer,
fucking answer. Fucking answer. No.
I promise you,
going
I
on
have.
with this?
I know. I promise you, I'm just like, girl, what's up, girl?
This a lot of stuff, but I'll talk to you about that when I come on.
Okay.
I don't know who this is for, podcast.
Yes, you have to come on.
I'm gonna tell you who
You
it's
have
for.
to come on.
I'm gonna tell you who it's for. Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap up today's episode. I want to thank you again, Sherrell
Thank
Duncan,
you
for
for
being a
having
part
me.
of my Trauma to Triumph podcast. Thank you again, Set the Mood Candles, for providing such a nice aroma. It has smelled so good for today's episode. Thank you all for watching another episode of Trauma to Triumph, where we turn wounds into wisdom, one story at a time. Thank you.
Yes.
This is my time, I'm